All right. Yay. Today we have our first teacher highlight that I want to share with everybody, a success story from Build a Better Beta. With us today is Kendra Perry.
Hi guys. How's it going?
Kendra. Good.
So I'm Kendra Perry, and I am a business coach, and I help new health coaches grow their online business and generate consistent 5-figure months. But I also help them interpret a very obscure test called hair tissue mineral analysis, which helps them assess the mineral status of their clients and then transform their lives, basically. And my course is based around that very obscure test. It's called HTMA Expert. And so far, I've generated over $90,000 with about 80 to 90 students.
Nice.
Very
Congratulations.
cool.
That's so
Thank you.
awesome.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I love your topic too, because I've
so
definitely,
niche,
it's super niche, but it's also
Yes.
really hot right now.
Niche and hot. That's like the way to go.
Yeah.
Right?
It's perfect.
Yeah. So we know each other. We go a little ways
Yes.
back in business. I used to have a membership site with Emily Hirsch called Funnel Playground. And we kind of were helping people just like build out their first funnels ever. And Kendra Perry was a student, which is so fun to think about.
Yes.
It feels like that was forever ago, but it really isn't in business world.
It was in business world, business time. It's like decades.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Flip that. But yeah,
Real time, it wasn't that long.
real time. It was like 2 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
But cool. So why don't you share a little bit about where you were with like wanting to create a course before BBB, and what was like keeping you from launching, or what was like you were struggling with potentially?
Yeah, I think I was struggling mostly with overwhelm. I always wanted a course model for my business. Like I liked the idea of it. And I'd previously launched a course when I was doing health coaching, and it flopped. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But I basically spent like 6 months like creating this course that I launched 4 times, and like it just didn't fly every single time. So I had like that course launch trauma going on.
Yeah.
So I was feeling pretty overwhelmed, and because I'd become an expert in this very kind of like random, obscure test, a lot of coaches were asking me. They were I was mentoring them, and they were like, when are you going to create a course? When are you going to create a course? And I was telling people like 8 months, because I was like, oh my God, it's such a, complex topic. I have to like dig into the research and make sure I'm teaching it properly. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be like this 8-month ordeal. And then I'm just going to have to pray that it sells. So I was sort of looking for some guidance on courses, and I came upon your webinar, Lindsay, maybe from a Facebook ad. And when you talked about like the Build a Better Beta model, I was like, whoa, this makes so much more sense, because I'm very minimalist. Like I don't like to put a lot of effort in. I like to do kind of like, I like my free time. I like my lifestyle. So I was like, well, this makes way more sense. And so I signed up, and I believe I launched 10 days later. I made $30,000, and it was awesome. Yeah. And I was like blown away. I was like, okay, this works way better than what I was trying to do.
Awesome. What are some of the like really specific ways that BBB helped you? You're kind of alluding to that idea of, it's different. Like what specifically helped you?
Well, I think first off, it was just like the confidence to just launch it, right? Because I was sort of, I'd been procrastinating this for like 1.5 years, and I just didn't know how to kind of take action on it. But I just love that, like, you call it the minimum awesome course. So basically like you create it as a test run. So it's like you pre-validate it before you go out and spend all this time and effort and like coming up with a launch plan that really could flop, and then you feel like a failure and you have your launch trauma and you never want to do it again. Yep. So I really loved how sort of like minimalistic it was. It was like you teach it live, you engage with your people who are in the course. Like I didn't have any of these people on an email list. Like they were just connections through my community. Nice. So I was able to just like reach out and be like, hey, like, do you want to do this with me? And I ended up having like 55 people enroll, which was crazy. Yeah. And I expected to get 10. So that was cool. But, it was just it really followed my business model in that it was minimal. And then you get all that information from the people. And I figured out, well, wow, they were super confused about this topic. So I need to add another lesson on this. And like, that didn't really work with them. And, I just kind of got all the feedback about like the setup of the lessons. And I just felt very like connected to the students rather than with the last course I did. It's like, I threw it out there and then I was like, do they like it? Like, what?
Yeah, I hope.
It? Like,
totally.
What's happening? So that was really great.
Awesome. What I love about your story specifically too is that it's in the health niche, and
Everyone thinks it's so crowded and like hard to find students in that space.
Yes, right. Like it's saturated, right?
Right.
Then the other thing though too is like it comes with this layer of I have to like make sure it's all perfect because I'm dealing with people's health, and there's this like I have to research it, and I resonate with that, right? Like the academic in me is like, of course you want to present the best information, and you were able to still say, no, it's actually okay. Like I know enough, and I'm going to support them through this process and learn from them what they need versus trying to make it all perfect out the gate. Yeah. And it's easy to get in that kind of research spiral. And when you're a credentialed person and it's a very serious topic, right? Like dealing with people's health, you don't want to teach them wrong. But at the end of the day, you were confident enough in your expertise and knowledge that actually, no, I am going to be able to take care of them. I don't need to know everything right out the gate right now. And I think that's like really important about like your launch.
Absolutely. And I honestly actually like learned a lot, like just from, because, you know, I was working with health professionals who are then working with the clients and, you know, so they're using my method. So it was actually cool because when I was doing it with my own clients, like, you know, I had like my subset of clients, but by working with 55 health coaches, like they each have like, you know, like 10 to 50 clients. So it was just like everything got tested pretty quickly. And I started to see like what wasn't working and like where people were really struggling. Like, you know, with some of the supplements I recommended, everyone would get a similar reaction. So we're like, that's not a good supplement. There's something with that supplement that's really like not jiving with people's bodies. So we're not going to recommend that anymore as part of the protocols. And so that was really cool too. And then I love that you teach like how to, like, you're not just doing this information product, it's an experience, right? So I think that's why what can make you stand out in a, you know, so-called saturated market is just by like, you know, making it fun. Like, I mean, I think that's really what I loved about the Funnel Playground was that it was funny and fun. And like the fact that you used all those Giphies, like I do that now in my business because I think it's hilarious. And I like the humor aspect. And a lot of my testimonials were like, I just had so much fun. Like it was so much fun to like connect, and like Kendra has a good sense of humor. And I think like selling the experience really resonated with me because you're right. There's so many online courses that nobody ever finishes, right?
Totally.
Right. Awesome. So you launched initially with $30,000 and then you're up to 90 now. So you've launched it a few times. I'm curious.
I launched it one more time.
One more time after that. That's
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I launched it again in August, like kind of end of July, August. And, you know, I still haven't run ads. Like I have a few like functional health communities where like I am pretty connected to a lot of health professionals, health practitioners. So that definitely helps my situation. But yeah, I basically doubled the price and then I sold to pretty much the same amount of people. I think maybe just closer to 60. And again, I was blown away. It was like, again, my biggest, you know, month in business to date. And I think I generated close to 60,000 or something like that. And that was awesome. So I was like, I like this. This works for me. I'm going to keep doing this.
Right. Awesome. So yeah, where is it headed? Where are you taking the course? What are your plans?
Yeah. So I'm going to continue to probably launch it twice a year. I did sort of toy with the idea of making it evergreen, but honestly, like I can't talk about minerals all year long. I kind of need to switch things up. And just with my sort of like minimalist, like business model, like I need big chunks of time off to like go skiing and go hang out in the mountains. And so I am going to just kind of do it twice a year. So I have ads running to kind of like set it up for January, which is when I plan to relaunch it at a slightly higher price point. And this time I'd like to get 100 people in it and have a 6-figure launch. That's my big goal now.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds realistic and reasonable. And you're doing it exactly right. Like now that you've tested it twice, now it's time to turn on ads and get some paid leads coming through.
And I do like that you're bringing up too, that like there are choices in how we can sell our course and like business models and stuff. And it's true. Like you could get it to a point where maybe it is a little more hands off, even if it is evergreen potentially. Like it would involve hiring support, and there's ways to do it. But we are even talking about, you know, launching a couple times a year, just because it's also good, just like publicly to be like, hey, I do this thing, even if there's something on the back end happening. So, because that's why we built these businesses, is to fit our lifestyle, and not everyone's lifestyle is the same. And I think that's awesome. And if you get known, you know, as you're getting known, right, as the authority in this area, it's going to, you know, the launches will get bigger and the partnerships will grow as well.
Yeah.
So super exciting. Yay.
Yeah, it is really exciting. And I just think it's really important to stay true to like what you want your business model to be and not just parrot someone else's business model. Because everyone's like, and then you do it evergreen, like you live launch and then you turn it evergreen, like, you know, because that might not fit into what you want for your business or lifestyle. And that's okay. You know, I think there's pluses and advantages to both, right?
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, it's been so great having you on and just catching up and hearing how everything has evolved for you. So let's end by finding out where people can learn more about you, your course, what you do in the world.
Sure. Yeah, probably the best way to connect with me is on Instagram because that's where I'm always hanging out. And my handle is just at Kendra Perry Inc. So Kendra Perry INC, and that's my handle across all social media platforms. Cool. I'm on all of them, but I'm mostly hanging out on Instagram and YouTube. I do a lot of free trainings on YouTube, my YouTube channel. So that would probably be the best way to connect with me. And then, you know, stay tuned if anyone's interested in the course coming up in January.
Awesome. Thanks, Kendra.
Thank you.